I bought a 2002 Toyota 4Runner with 232,000 miles from the original owner. Some of the pros and cons. Hello everybody, it's Mike, the Baldadonis. Boom! Hey guys, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Mike the Baldadonis and I talk about many different topics. Cars is one of them, absolutely. Being in prison for 5 years, 3 months in my early 20s, I talk about that. After prison, I decided to take steroids because I was unhappy with my body and I wanted to be very muscular. So I gained 105 pounds of pure muscle only to have a heart attack. My current conditions are migraines and vertigo. I get migraines due to environmental pollution, cars, trucks, cigarettes, VOCs, any kind of exhaust system, firewood that's burning. Yeah, I've been dealing with that for 6 years. I have many people that come on board. I have conspiracy theories with Gary from the gym. I have Dr. Peter Pacoco. He is my neurologist, chiropractor, and he talks about inspirational talks so you can feel good about yourself. I have other people that come on and talk about sharing their life experiences as well. My motto is sharing life experiences one video at a time. All right, so on today's video, as you can see, yeah, we're talking about a 2002 Toyota 4Runner. This is September, yeah, September. So in the beginning of summer, maybe around July, for some reason, I wanted a Toyota with very high miles. I was on YouTube and I was seeing people with high mile Toyotas and how well they ran. Now, I buy and sell cars as a hobby. Toyotas never really sold well for me, usually because the people are too cheap. So I just don't buy them. But this was not the case this summer. I saw a 2011 Camry 4-cylinder with 266,900 miles, give or take. I bought the vehicle and it hit 267,000 miles while I was driving home. Now I did a little video about it, and I put on Craigslist, and it sold 8 hours later. 8 hours later for a nice condition, 2-owner, well-maintained, high-mile Toyota Camry. So while I was trying to buy this car, the Camry, I was also talking to Jeff, the person that I bought this Toyota 4Runner from. Now, this one, 232,000 miles, one owner. His dad was the original owner, got passed down to him. This is Jeff's only car he's ever driven. He's 34 years old. Now, the car originally came from Connecticut, and then it's been in Boston for the past 8 years. Now, some of the issues that Toyota have, being in New England, is the truck frames rot out. A couple of months ago, I was looking for a small pickup truck for a friend of mine. And I wanted to get a Toyota because they last forever. But these new frames that they keep putting in, the recalled frames, well, they start rotting out as well. And if they wasn't rotted out, everything around it was rotted out. So it was not worth me looking at any Toyota trucks. And I said that in the Camry video. But here I am again, buying a Toyota truck. But when I went to go look at this vehicle, it was 4 weeks ago. It was August, Boston area. It was like 92 degrees out. I was dying. The first thing that I wanted to know was, does the AC work? Yep, AC worked. Now, along with being the original owner, it comes with all the receipts. He's got over $5,000 in receipts. Everything from timing belt, water pump, brake lines, brakes, radiator, tires, suspension parts, exhaust system, catalyst converter, you name it, it's been pretty much done. So when I went to go look at it, crawling on the hot asphalt, I was in Medford, Massachusetts, and the streets are pretty narrow, and I'm trying to scoot underneath the vehicle, burning my back, and I was like, geez, this is hot. But I was disappointed. Not in the car, because the car, or the truck I should say, was in very nice condition. It needed a little love, which I would have addressed and put my cleaning touches on, but about this much of frame was starting to rot out. And I was like, damn, this is such a nice vehicle that it's a shame to walk away from it. Now, on the test drive, I noticed that the exhaust was very loud, even though he just put a new exhaust system in it 3 years ago. So I didn't complain, but I noticed that it was the exhaust system, the frame was bad, or just one piece of it was rotted out, and the truck did not stop. It needed brakes. So I never owned a 4Runner. And after talking to Jeff and debating whether or not I was going to buy it, I said to him, hey, let me go and talk to a few people on how much the frame's going to cost, and then maybe I have a better idea, for a price. What can we do? So, to my surprise, Jeff went to his repair shop where he had all this service done. They agreed that yes, the frame needed work. The thing that did not agree with me was the exhaust. Now, I don't know why they lied to him, because you're gonna clearly see that it was rotted away. The only thing I can see was they would have to replace it under factory warranty, not factory warranty, but they give you a warranty for a couple of years, and I think they do not want to replace it. That's what I get out of it. So I go and see my friends at IGA and a couple other shops, and I get some prices. Now, I don't want to mess around with frames. I don't want to mess around with rust. But I knew this was a good car. I wanted to save it. And I'm not even a Toyota fan, to be honest with you. But when I seen this, I thought it was, one, super sharp looking. It was an '02 with the last year for the chrome bumpers, and I just think it's very striking with the chrome wheels. I just think it's, again, a very pretty car. Now, we did make a deal. I wanted the vehicle. So I go back, I purchased the car, and I'm sitting in Route 93 Boston traffic going home. The best way to test drive a car is to sit in traffic for an hour and a half. See if it overheats. And it did not overheat. The AC worked, the brakes sucked. Plain and simple, sucked. I was not used to this type of vehicle as I drive small cars. I have a Fiat Abarth, a small BMW X1, and this was a boxy, SUV. So when I get home, the only thing I can think of with the brakes is maybe so with the brakes, there was no vacuum. Usually when you hit the brakes, there's a couple of inches and then you hear a vacuum. Shh, shh. As soon as you hit the brakes, there was none of that. It was like, boom, and hot as a rock. So before my friends could go look at it, I'm already on Google looking at known issues for this vehicle. And this vehicle just happened to have electronic master cylinder. So that was my number one thought was wrong. So I had it priced at $500 just for a used one. And I was like, damn, that's expensive. Normally, just a regular master cylinder is probably like $100, if that. So you can see where I was getting a little concerned. So I'm not driving the vehicle a lot because I have other projects going on. I have a 1989 BMW E30 convertible that I've been working on. I also been looking for other convertibles because it was still summertime. So my driving experience with the vehicle was just a little bit here and there. Now I'm driving the truck, trying to get used to it, and I'm starting to like it. The thing about this vehicle, being 6'4", there's no headroom. Like my head is touching the ceiling. It's not a very tall truck. There was, you can recline the seats, but that's about it. I can actually touch the window and lock and open up the door, just reaching over. It's very simple. That's how narrow the car is. It is a limited, it has leather interior, and everything works. A non-smoker, even has original floor mats. So it was well taken care of. And again, I wanted to get it over the hump and complete the truck so the next person that buys it from me has a very nice vehicle and they have plenty of years to enjoy it. Now, I use several people as my mechanics. RGA fixed the frame. They're out of Pelham, New Hampshire. They also did a small exhaust leak, but unfortunately, it still needed the rear exhaust. And right away, I went to Lose Exhaust System in Salem, New Hampshire. Quick, $180, in and out, 20 minutes. That was done. Again, I'm not driving the vehicle that much, so this video could have been done 3 weeks ago. So I dropped off the vehicle because after inspecting it a little bit more, I noticed the valve cover gaskets were very leaky on both sides. And that's a pain in the ass. You have to take the intake manifold off, take the valve covers off. It's just a messy job. So my friends over at Live Free and Drive in Salem, New Hampshire, they did the valve cover gaskets, and I told them to check the brakes. Then took the car and drove it for a few days. And while I was driving, all of a sudden, the check engine light came on along with the traction control lights. So while it came on, I took a small video, sent it to Jeff. I said, Jeff, did this ever happen to you while you were driving? He said, no. Now, to find out, the check engine light actually trips the other lights. So in my head, I'm thinking it's the electronic power booster. And I'm getting worried. because again, it's $500 just for a used one. How much it's going to cost to fix? But I was fine. I was okay because I'm in budget. I was like, okay, I have that in my head. That's what I need. So when the truck went back into the shop, I asked them to check the brakes, and that's when we replaced the O2 sensor. Now the O2 sensor on this is pretty expensive, $170. Usually they're around about 80 bucks. So that was something I wasn't expected to pay for. The exhaust wasn't something I was expecting to pay for, but still I had wiggle room and I was okay with that. Now, I'm driving it again and I'm still feeling that the brakes suck. They still suck. These come with rotors up front and drum brakes in the rear. Now, I had the vehicle for over the weekend. Monday comes by, I bring it over to IGA. I said, hey guys, can you change the oil? Since I actually checked the oil, it was down a quart, it was a little dirty, and when I looked on the records, it was a year ago. So I said, hey, it's only 40 bucks, change the oil, and can you please check the brakes for me? And all it needed was an adjustment. Both sides. Now I have a brake pedal. Thank you, IGA. Now, why my other friends didn't do it, I don't know why. I just don't know why they didn't check it out. First thing I was complaining of, it wasn't stopping right. So now I'm very happy. One, when I was driving it the first time, it was kind of sluggish. 0-60 took 2 days. The braking sucked, so I wasn't very happy with this vehicle. Since the O2 sensor has been replaced, the truck is much more peppier. The brakes are now more stoppable. It handles very well, and I'm very happy the way it came out. So some of the pros and cons of this vehicle. The gas mileage, not the best, about 20 miles per gallon. 2, rust. 3, rust. 4, rust. New England, you gotta watch out for rust on these trucks. Any Toyota, especially back in the 2000s, you really have to pay attention to the frames. Even if they got new frames, anything around the frames rot out, so be careful. If you're overweight, American, fat ass, it's too small for you. I just happen to be very sexy that I can fit in it with no problem. Basic maintenance, that's all it needs. Timing belt, water pump, brakes, change all the fluids, you're good to go, pretty much. The other thing that might be a little pricey is that electronic braking system or the electronic power booster, all right? So that's expensive. That's the only downside I see with the braking system. Pros, cheap to fill for gas, basic oil change, brakes, rotors, drum brakes, very inexpensive. Thing will last you forever. All right, so that's some of the pros and cons. So I want to thank Jeff once again for making this deal happen with me. He knew it was going to a good home and that I would have fixed these issues. All right, so he has over $5,000 worth of receipts in the past 2 or 3 years, including my $1,500 at least. Now, for the next person, they're gonna have a nice, reliable SUV for a very long time. All right, guys, so until the next video, Baldadonis out.